podcast you're about to listen to is not real. It's a podcast. Do not act things out from it because you're disturbed or pissed off, you crazy sons of bitches. Because this is the Disenfranchised Podcast, where that podcast all about those franchises of one, those films that fancy themselves full-fledged franchises before falling flat on their face after the first film. I'm your host, Stephen Foxworthy, and joining me, as always, a man who's a little drunk his own self, it's Tucker. Hey, Tucker.
Hey, fucked up dog. I'm sorry. Hey, Steven. How's it going?
I've been called worse by better, so sure. We'll take it.
Eat that vomit, Steven. Eat that vomit.
Every time I have to puke, Tucker. Every time I have to puke.
Yeah, nice.
Doing well, to answer your question. I do want to just point out our good friend and co-host Brett Wright will not be joining us for this episode. Pray for Brett. He's come down with a really rough case of enteritis, and it's doing a number on him. So just, again, thoughts and prayers with Brett. We love you, buddy. Hope you get back here real soon. In the meantime, Tucker, we are winding Sketch-tember down. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, but I don't think I am, this is the entire reason you wanted to do Sketch-tember. Am I wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. If I had to guess, this is probably what the linchpin, really. Because I'm interested in sketch comedy anyway, but right. Ronnie Run is, though we have not mentioned that's what we watched. Spoilers,
so
we watched Ronnie Run. No, no. Less work. It's probably one of my favorite underseen movies of all time.
Okay. That is right. From the year of our Lord 2002, we watched a little film called Ronnie Run, directed by Troy Miller, written by David Cross, Bob Odenkirk. Yes, that Bob Odenkirk. Scott Aukerman, B.J. Porter, and Brian Posehn, and starring, gotta brace myself here because this is going to be quite a run. David Cross, Bob Odenkirk, Nikki Cox, Arlie Ermy, MC Gainey, David Dave Koechner, Jill Talley, E.J. De La Pena, Tom Kenny, Sully McCullough, Becky Tyre, also Paul F. Tompkins, Brett Pazel, Brian Posehn, Patton Oswalt, Sarah Silverman, Jack Black, Marilyn Reichkob, John Ennis, Scott Adsit, Scott Aukerman, Dave Foley, Andy Richter, Jeff Garland, Laura Keitlinger, Patrick Warburton, Doug Benson, Dave Baudiel, Marina Banks, Rhoda Griffiths, Trey Parker, Matt Stone, Ben Stiller, John Stamos, Rebecca Romaine, Gary Shandling, Scott Ian, Kathy Griffin, Scott Thompson, Mandy Patinkin, and motherfucking Jeff Goldblum. What a cast, and dare I say it, Tucker, what a picture.
Gosh, what a picture. Despite itself too, because like Bob and David hate this movie basically because they didn't get to do what they wanted, but somehow, some way, it's still just amazing. And I don't know. Since you said that all so fast, did you mention the two actors from last week's movie, Dave Foley and Scott Thompson, who are also in this film?
Yes, I did mention both Dave Foley and Scott Thompson. Sorry, Tucker, I'm a little bit drunk my own self.
Okay, I think Scott Thompson was born to play the role that he played, and I love when they tell him to go back into the closet, and he starts hitting on those gals like, "Hey, ladies."
Today I learned that Scott Thompson is gay.
You didn't know it? You did? Are you kidding?
No, had no idea.
Okay, all right. Okay. He's the Graham Chapman of the group. Yeah. He's the spiritual successor to Graham Chapman.
Had I known that last week, I feel like last week's episode might have shaken out a little differently.
Would have made a wow. Yes. I just assumed you knew that. Everybody knows Scott Thompson is gay. Everybody.
But again, as mentioned last week, my familiarity with Kids in the Hall, not strong. So, yeah.
Change for dollar, change for dollar, change for dollar. I gotta call my boss. That's my
That
favorite Mr. Show sketch, and it leads into the first Ronnie Dobbs sketch ever.
it does. And as I was mentioning to you before we hit record on this, you basically required that I rewatch the first episode of Mr. Show. Fortunately, I do have an HBO Max subscription for now. If they decide to threaten our free speech, I may not anymore. If they start, wholesale supporting fascism like some other companies are right now, then maybe I won't have one much longer. But for now, I do.
Yeah.
And so I watched it on my lunch break yesterday. And then with the rest of my lunch break, I decided to watch another of my favorite episodes of Mr. Show, featuring my favorite Mr. Show sketch, which was the Thrilling Miracles with the pan, the super pan.
Yes.
I love that sketch so much. And I was delighted, Tucker, absolutely delighted to see Thrilling Miracles make an appearance in this film. Absolutely delighted.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed. I suggested you watch that first episode because it's kind of the blueprint for this film, outside of a few scenes that show up in later Ronnie Dobbs sketches. The one that I sent you that you didn't get to was the version of the musical where David Cross sings, and David Cross can sing. And
Okay,
so
I didn't know that.
he is Ronnie Dobbs. He's doing his Ronnie Dobbs thing, and then he gets up to the microphone and he sings it in like an opera singing voice.
Which, I mean, the reveal of Mandy Patinkin naked on the stage singing is mwah,
just the fact that they even got him in this film, and the fact that he gave it that much, even the dialogue that he had, like, I believed it. Like, I'm like, yeah, he probably should be naked. You're right. He's like, I think he should be naked.
He's like, it's naked to portray the truth of the scene. He's like, let's try it your way. And then as you pan back over, he's just starting to sing again, sitting on the stage with his legs kind of crossed in a way to obscure his wang. And
bare ass naked.
Yeah. It's amazing. Wow. And the fact that you can get Mandy Patinkin just to come in and do that is amazing. Honestly, this cast is among the more stacked casts in comedy that I've seen in recent years. I think the pool scene from Weird, the Al Yankovic story, might, come close, but I still think this takes its lunch, because in this one, mostly it's a bunch of people before they made it, including really David Cross and Bob Odenkirk.
Tell me to go fuck myself, Steven.
I don't. Is it your birthday, Tucker?
No, it's my grandma's birthday. You want to tell her?
Fuck you, bitch.
She's like 94. I'll let her know.
Wait, where's the guacamole? Let me pour that over her head.
She'd love
and
that.
then push her into the pool. So yeah, this was one of the movie. This is a movie that I just passed in the video store constantly when I was a kid. And I recognized David Cross from, I think Men in Black might've been the first thing that I saw him in.
Which, if I may just briefly interrupt, I'm pretty sure his character in Men in Black is just basically supposed to be the first character he plays in the Change sketch. The clerk with the glasses and the hat. He's just that guy in Men in Black. He's the guy from the Change sketch in Men in Black.
Thank you. Thank you for making sure the bell works. I feel like his character in Men in Black's a little more acerbic, but, it's a lateral move.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also, generally speaking, more verbose and loquacious, but yeah. So I knew David Cross mostly from that, but then again, as I got a little older, Arrested Development, stuff like that, like David Cross became a fixture. And then I got into his stand-up a little bit too. Whereas Bob Odenkirk, I knew from Mr. Show. Like Mr. Show, I think came out when I was in middle school. I remember like some of my friends who did have HBO telling me about it, particularly the Super Pan sketch. So I was very excited when I finally got to watch that one. But I did years later eventually watch through Mr. Show. It's been several years ago now, so I don't remember a lot of it. But I do remember having a really fun time with it and thinking it was really funny.
Dude, yeah. I would recommend, if, like Steven, you are a fan of Mr. Show and you have not watched the revival that was done about 5-6 years ago. I think it was right before the pandemic, maybe 2019. It's just called With Bob and David because they
Because
couldn't get the
HBO
rights
owned Mr.
to,
Show. Yeah.
yes, Mr. Show. So it's just blank With Bob and David.
It's, yeah, like asterisk with Bob and David. Yeah. Which is
I
a
believe
great bit, honestly.
it premiered on Netflix, but I'm not sure where it is now. It's probably still there. I don't know
It is.
because I
I'm
don't live
supremely
near.
confident it still is.
I don't live in the same house as the person that I share a Netflix account with, which apparently is a problem now. I
Yeah,
noticed when I tried to sign in the other day.
correct. You can, however, sign in from the app. The app will still let you sign in, and if you have like a Chromecast or the ability to cast onto a television,
Yeah.
that should work.
Nice. Are we telling our histories with this film, Steven? Were you throwing
Uh,
that ball to me?
yeah, I was. This is the first time I've watched this film.
Fantastic.
It's
Okay.
one that I saw a lot, but never actually sat down with and watched until just this evening. And I had a time. After you.
Well, for me, this is similar to last week's film, where I've been a fan of Mr. Show since the early 2000s when I was able to get the DVDs from Blockbuster, because I'd always been interested in it. I'd always heard really cool things about it, and I've always been a sketch comedy dude, and I always wanted to watch it, so I rented all the DVDs from Blockbuster one at a time and watched them all and had a fantastic time. But it wasn't until I met my first wife that I even thought about watching Run, Ronnie Run, because much like Brain Candy, I heard it was not good.
Right.
So I avoided it. Then my ex-wife was like, "Nah, dude, check this out." And so we watched it, and I fell in love with it.
This feels, and I mentioned something to this effect before we started the recording. This episode feels like you saw it and it became your entire personality.
Pretty much. I
Because,
mean,
like,
yeah.
watching this movie, I'm like, this is Tucker. Like, listening to Ronnie Dobbs talk in certain scenes and certain moments is like having a conversation with Tucker. This feels very familiar to me.
Yeah, I could see that. I think that was there before I saw it, but it really kind of gave me something to anchor my personality to.
Right.
Is
Yeah.
Ronnie
And I mean,
Dobbs.
your predilection for cut off, for t-shirts cut off at the sleeves, and
Cut off shorts too. I cut off my
yeah,
own shorts, you guys.
to
I
the
went to a party
amazement
tonight,
of
so
no one.
I wore the chino shorts tonight because I went to a fancy party
Of
with a bunch of
course.
fancy people. We had fancy drinks and fancy cake, and yeah, it was really good.
Okay. I like cake, fancy or otherwise.
Cake is good. It was, I
I'll
don't know
take
what
some
kind of
cheap
cake it
ass
was,
cake too.
but it had, well, the gal whose birthday it was, she had made the cake, and I don't know what it was, but it kind of tasted like it was kind of coffee cake adjacent.
Mmm.
But also it had walnuts in it, which I don't like walnuts in a
Mmm.
cake, but the
Oh, I
fact that
love
they were
walnuts in a
so
cake.
finely chopped, it didn't bother
Mm-hmm.
me. It's the
Okay.
crunching on them. It feels weird to crunch on a nut while you're eating cake. But they
No,
were
not at all.
so like they were diced so small that I didn't have to crunch them and crackle them and all that stuff.
Tucker, I have a very
Yeah.
serious question that I want to ask you right now. And
Sure.
I want to get it on mic for posterity. What are your
A
top
serious
three?
romanticized question? Is it
No, I just want to know your top
okay?
three favorite kinds of cake.
Now I'm not really a fan of cake. So, I mean, I
I mean,
don't dislike
cake is
cake.
maybe my third or fourth favorite dessert, and I still have a top three.
I'm glad that you like it so much. I would say my favorite would be probably a coffee cake, and then angel food, and then probably carrot cake. I like carrot cake a lot.
Carrot cake is great. I think it falls just outside of my top three.
Yeah.
But I love a good tres leches.
Hmm.
Is absolutely amazing. The pineapple upside down is another one that I really like.
Hmm.
And no, I think carrot cake might actually be my number three. No, I
Nice.
really do love carrot cake. So yeah, those are my top three. And yes, I do have top threes for most of my favorite kinds of desserts.
There you go.
Because this is, when you got the beatus, you got to make every moment count.
Yeah. Gotta really live life,
Absolutely, to the hilt.
Dude, yeah. Fuck yeah.
Your first wife introduced you to the wonders of Run Ronnie Run.
Yes, and we still quote it to each other to this day.
Oh, that's nice.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that has made its way into my everyday speech.
Yeah,
So.
and again, I feel like that's why watching this movie, I was just like, listening to Ronnie talk is like having a conversation with Tucker. Like there's something
Sometimes.
about this that feels very familiar. And that's not to impugn like your intelligence or anything like that. It's just like
Yeah.
your cadence and some of the word choice is very familiar to me.
Oh
So I'm
man.
like, I'm gonna be
Oh,
talking to
Ronnie
real life
Dobbs.
Ronnie Dobbs tonight. Like
Oh, Ronnie Dobbs. What a
also
what a what a character. What a
your
guy.
love of very cheap beer and like it's all baked in there, man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true. There's a lot of me and Ronnie Dobbs, or a lot of Ronnie Dobbs and me. I don't know.
That's one or the other.
Yeah.
But yeah. So you were a fan of Mr. Show from like the way back or from when it was first airing on HBO?
Oh no, well, like I said, when I got the DVDs from Blockbuster, so it took me
Oh, I
a
see.
while
Okay.
because I
Gotcha.
didn't have HBO when I was a kid, but I knew what it was. I was aware of it, and I yearned for it. But it wasn't until early 2000s, probably 2004,
Gotcha.
is when
My
I started
partner
renting those.
my partner watched this movie with me and she's like, this feels like my sense of humor just cranked all the way up. She's like, this is exactly the kind of thing that I normally find funny, but it's even more bizarre. Because it usually the thing that she finds really funny is a very like out there and delusional person in a very normal, grounded world.
Hmm.
And this is a like very unmoored, almost delusional person in a world that is equally unmoored and delusional. And
Or
so
that
like the
that
whole thing
supports
is
his
just like
delusions.
right. And I
They're
think that's
enablers. Everybody in this movie is a fucking enabler for Ronnie
100%.
Dobbs.
Well, and I feel like there's satire to that. Like there's a
Yeah.
comment being made on the state of Hollywood and on like reality TV in specific. And I feel like that comment has only gotten like the reality behind that comment has only gotten worse. No one learned a damn thing from this movie, probably because let me check my notes here. No one saw
No
this
one
damn
saw it.
movie.
This is much like most of my favorite stupid comedies. It's very smart underneath.
It
It's
is.
really, really clever. A lot like Pootie Tang's the same way, where it's just
Yeah.
dumb as shit, but like the
Also starring David
undercurrent is
Cross.
clever as fuck. Oh yeah, when he said blackface, I guess.
Yes, he is 100% doing that. Again, that is the joke. Your mileage may vary as to how funny that joke is. Like
Yes.
some of word choices in this film.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've like Ronnie Dobbs. We've discussed these kind of characters a lot, but like
Right.
Jay from Jay and Silent Bob, or like Bill and Ted, like they're dumb. Like they're ignorant. They're not so much dumb as they are ignorant. They don't understand like they don't understand what they're saying enough to know that it's wrong. So you feel bad for them because they're like innocents almost, you know? They've got
I
an air of innocence to them.
I don't I yeah I understand what you're saying. I don't know that
Mhm.
I would necessarily make that argument. In this particular instance, we got a couple of F slurs in this movie for sure.
Mhm.
That feel like they've aged like milk. And not in the way that makes cheese, but in the way that just kind of spoils and curdles and tastes bad.
I don't
Um,
know. Best joke in the movie, though. Going to get that new mustache.
your mileage may vary.
Gotta go get the new mustache.
Yeah, you wanted me to open the episode with that line, and that was never going to
No,
happen.
I did not want you to. I was sad that we couldn't because it had such a mean, nasty word in it.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
hateful, let's say hateful word,
Yeah.
for
Well, it
sure.
depends on what country you're in. Sometimes you
Touche.
just want a cigarette. Sometimes you just want, you know.
Touche.
Yeah.
Yeah, there, and that works both ways because a word that is very very hateful in England is a word for a packaged liquor store in certain parts of the United States. So
Yeah.
yeah, it just Language is fun, isn't it,
Language
folks?
is fun, yes. Also, there's just a whole segment of this about giving someone a kick in the cunt,
Yes.
which is
That's the only
fantastic.
time I'm letting you say that
Oh,
word this episode,
can you
Tucker.
can I tell you how awesome it is in this movie to have Jack Black lampooning my favorite film of all time and doing it perfectly. When he does the quick part, holy
Hmm.
shit. Like, the man nails it.
Yeah. Well,
Nails
and
it.
that's Jack Black is extraordinarily talented. And it comes through like, and I kind of want to see where Jack Black was in 2002 because he was ascendant, I feel like, in 2002, but he wasn't quite where he is today. Like School of Rock, I think, is the one that really propels him
Mm-hmm.
to stardom, and School of Rock doesn't really happen until the following year in
But
2003.
though he was in stuff before this, I would say High Fidelity is what got his name out there. That's the performance people started noticing,
That's true.
I think. I mean,
And
he was in The
he,
Cable Guy, but who fucking cares? He's just
no one,
he's Homeboy's friend. He's Matthew Broderick's friend.
only slightly fewer people saw The Cable Guy than saw Ronnie Run. Let's
Two
be
of my
very
favorite
clear on
movies
that
of
point.
all time. I love The Cable Guy too.
That
Oh,
is
so good.
completely
Mm.
unsurprising. So yes, he is. If we want to start, I mean, he's done a shit ton of stuff. Like Jack Black has been working
Mhm.
since he was a kid.
Yep.
Famously,
The
was
Pitfall commercial.
the Pitfall commercial was his first acting gig the year before I was born, 1982. He's in Demolition Man. He's in a couple episodes of Northern Exposure. Or one episode of Northern Exposure, Neverending Story 3 as one of the bullies.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
He's in fucking Waterworld, the
yes,
Kevin
he is.
Costner film, future
He's in
episode of this
the
podcast. God help us
what's that
all.
Bruce Willis one that he was in? The Jackal? Was he in The Jackal?
Was the Jackal? Was the Jackal? I haven't gotten to the Jackal yet, but maybe. Straight up, maybe.
He was an Enemy of the State.
Yes, he was in the Jackal. He was in Biodome, Dead Man Walking,
Yes.
The
Yes.
Cable Guy. He's
Enemy of the
in
State.
something called Crossworlds,
I
Mars
don't know what the fuck
Attacks.
that is. Yes, he gets
Uh,
vaporized in Mars Attacks. He's the army guy.
he's the army guy. Yeah, the brother of Lucas Haas.
Mm-hmm.
He's in something called Johnny Skidmarks. I still know what you did last summer, uncredited.
Yes, he is.
Enemy of the
He's
State.
the Rasta
88.
guy. He's the Rasta guy, and like
Oh,
he sells them weed.
oh,
And I
okay.
still know what you did last summer.
I haven't seen any of the I Know What You Did Last Summer because my partner's like, those movies are bad. You don't want to watch them. And I'm like, you're
You're not missing
probably
anything.
right.
I will agree. The only thing you're missing is the
Jack Black as a Rasta.
famous overhead shot of what's her nut spinning around saying, "What are you waiting for?"
That's the one.
Jennifer Love
The
Hewitt,
same.
that's the one.
That's her. He's in a little movie or a little TV pilot. If we ever get our axe and gear and get the TV pilot spinoff podcast taken care of, we'll cover Heat Vision and Jack.
Hey, have you seen that,
in this
Steven?
economy. I have not. No,
Owen Wilson plays the dirt bike.
I know.
It's crazy because like Heat Vision and Jack, when Jack Black guest starred on Yo Gabba Gabba way back in the day, his character very similarly rides a talking moped.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
That's the cool thing about Yo Gabba Gabba. It's like it's not like most kids shows where like they'll slip in offensive jokes that go over the kids' heads. Instead, they'll slip in references that the kids will never get, but like the adults are like, "Oh shit, okay,
Yeah,
I see
which
you. You see me. I see you."
I think it's why so many famous people have been on Yo Gabba Gabba is because
Mm-hmm.
they have kids, and if they're going to be forced to watch a show, they want to be forced to watch one that's actually decent.
Yeah,
And so that tends to be. And again, you have kids that watch Yo Gabba Gabba, so
I do.
you know.
One that's been watching it for 15 years.
There you go. So
I've seen every episode.
know.
Can I can say every episode to you, line for line, probably.
Sounds about right. As someone who experiences what my sister goes through with my nephews, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He's also in 1999 in a film that I will be covering soon with my friend Hope Stough over on Wells University. A little movie directed by one Tim Robbins called Cradle Will Rock. based on a gentleman by the name of Orson Welles and a play that he directed called The Cradle Will Rock.
I still have that on VHS. I've owned it on
Oh.
VHS for many, 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 many years.
Right on.
I still own it. It barely fucking plays, but I still have it.
You still have it.
Because I like the movie a lot. I've watched it several times over the years. I like it a lot.
99's a good year for him because he also does in 99 something uncredited role in The Love Letter, something called Jesus' Son. He's in the Foo Fighters Learn to Fly video and also in the Beck Sex Laws video. Mm-hmm. So there's all that. And then the next year is when he does, is when I think he starts his big run. 2000, he's got High Fidelity. The following year, he's in Saving Silverman, a movie that he is very much the best part of in my memory. Another R. Lee Ermey film. And then Tenacious D kind of starts to start putting out music in earnest. He does Shallow Hal in 2001. The first thing I ever saw him in, which is the movie he makes right before this one, a little movie he does with his King Kong co-star Colin Hanks called Orange County.
Orange County, yeah.
It's a good movie.
It was it's all right. I liked it. I saw it at the movie theater. I don't think I've seen it since, but I had fun. I remember they burned something down at the end.
Yes, the admissions office for the college he's trying to attend. Yeah. Oh. It's because Jack Black is having sex with Jane Addams. And they are not watching, and they like throw a joint in the trash, and it burns down the whole building. Yeah. But yeah, and then it's this, and then he's kind of off to the races. He does a voice in Ice Age, and then again in 2003 he gets School of Rock, and I feel like that kind of propels him into stardom. Yeah,
I mean, he was a big deal before. Like he got Shallow Hal because he was kind of becoming a big deal, but School of Rock is what made everyone, young and old, aware of who Jack was and what he was about.
He was kind of the derpy, derpy comedy guy, and then he gets School of Rock, and that I think uses him. That's Linklater using him in a way that is really smart and really weaponizing what it is he does well. But again, as you mentioned, his musical talents have always been kind of at the fore of what his particular brand of comedy is, even from High Fidelity. And so to see him do basically the Step in Time routine about wife beating is fairly content aside, fairly funny. But of course, we all know that scene was cut for time, not for content.
For time, not content. No, absolutely. Understandable.
Oh my God.
What'd you think of the little animation at the beginning, Steven?
The ad, you know what? I wasn't sure if that was part of it or not, so I fast forwarded through that.
Oh, you bastard.
I'm sorry.
You bastard. Yeah, that's part of the movie, Steven. That's part
of the movie. I'll go kind of like the commercials at the beginning of another Jack Black vehicle, Tropic Thunder. Mm-hmm. I'll go back and watch it after we're done recording.
Now,
unless you want me to pause the record right now and watch it and come back and tell you what I thought of it.
No, I do. Unfortunately, I do think that John Kay was the person they got for that, but it's still good. It sounds really about funny.
Right. Like I'm not gonna lie to you, Tucker. I watched a movie earlier this year, the new Looney Tunes film, The Day the Earth Blew Up, which I really enjoyed.
Good. It's real good, yeah.
Very good. But I was like, the art style is very, very influenced by John Kay. And it feels weird knowing how awful a person he is, that he is so influential in the animation world.
Well, because like when Ren and Stimpy came out, nobody had done anything like that. Now everybody does that. You'd be hard pressed to find a cartoon that doesn't do the close up like still life things. Like SpongeBob does that, where it gets real close to something and it's very realistic and gross,
very detailed. Yeah.
Like that's a Ren and Stimpy thing. Like they invented that. Like fuck that guy, but I mean he changed animation forever.
Yeah. For good or ill, he's a absolute fucking scumbag. There was a documentary that came out during the pandemic, and
I
while
watched
they
that
were
too.
filming it, those fucking allegations were coming out about him, and they almost tacked them onto the end as sort of an afterthought. And like the whole thing is about what a perfectionist asshole he is, and then you get to the end and it's like the last 10 minutes of him going, yeah, I don't remember it that way. And you're just like, oh, fuck
Mm-hmm.
you, dude. Like,
Mm-hmm.
fuck you.
Well, I always kind of knew he was a scumbag because when the the new episodes came out on TNN on the Nashville network,
Right.
um, something was a little
Before it
off.
became Spike TV.
They let him do whatever he wanted, and it just was very mean spirited and gross. And that's
Right.
why I always, whenever I use the example of someone who is a creative genius but just needs an editor's hand to be
Mm-hmm.
like, hey, no, that's too far. Don't do that. Do this way, and you're perfect. John Kay is the perfect example because
Right.
with the guiding hand of Nickelodeon, he made a perfect fucking show. And without them, he made just perverted bullshit.
Right. And that, I mean, that is I think kind of the lesson. Like it's about the thing that made Ren and Stimpy so special was the allusion to the thing, not the thing itself. And as
Mm-hmm.
soon as and it's the same problem I had with when we covered the 2010 Nightmare on Elm Street movie. The
Mm-hmm.
suggestion of the thing is more powerful than just putting it out there. Like we all had that thing in our head. We all kind of wondered when you make the subtext text, it loses its power. And so I
It's no
feel
fun
like that's
anymore either.
that yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
it feels less transgressive somehow when you're actually doing it than when you're only suggesting it, weirdly.
And that's kind of why, honestly, I'm excited to finally see the original Savini cut of the remake of Night of the Living Dead. But also, I kind of think the fact that they made him tone it down, and he mentions it in the documentary that they made about that film some years back, that because of those cuts, a lot of it is left up to the imagination, and you can think up worse than what he can put on the screen.
Exactly, and I feel like that's something that I think a lot of horror movies that we've seen and some that we've covered, like I know obviously that's why Jaws gets all the credit that it does, but also something like My Bloody Valentine, the original My Bloody Valentine, that movie, we've got like, people like the scene where he like lifts the body and like shoves it onto the shower head. Like that's only suggested. We don't actually see
Yeah.
that until the director's cut. And honestly, there's something like really regressive to that. Like anything that we can imagine is going to be worse than anything they're going to be able to put on screen.
Original Texas Chainsaw Massacre is the perfect example of that. Everybody
100%.
thinks that it's just like the grossest, bloodiest thing in the world. There's hardly a drip in that movie. A lot of that is left to the imagination.
Yes,
Most all of it,
absolutely.
almost all of it is left to the imagination,
100%.
except for a thump on the head with a hammer. That's about
Well,
it.
and Franklin does get chainsawed, but you
It's in
don't see
silhouette.
any blood. Like there's
It's in
nothing
silhouette.
there.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing about that movie is it's not gory at all. Everything is just suggested, but it became this very transgressive thing, despite the
Mm-hmm.
fact that there's nothing transgressive there at all.
No, not
Everything
visually, at least. I mean,
transgressive
it's
is
implied.
right, sure, but it's all in our heads. It's all subtext. It's not the text. And again, that's I think the potency of it.
Yup.
So yeah, that's just how I feel about it.
I feel about it as well.
Well, I'm glad that we're on the same page there for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there we go. But run, Ronnie, run.
Jack Black is how we got to where we were.
Yes.
Jack Black, John Kay, Night of the Living Dead remake.
Yes.
And now we're back.
And we're back. By the way, go listen to Tucker talk about the Night of the Living Dead remake over on Pod and the Pendulum.
Oh, excuse me. Did I just
Right,
burp?
right.
Did you hear that burp?
Right in the mic. I sure did. That came through, my friend.
Crap a doodle doo. Look, I'm gonna bleep out that burp, but I'm not even gonna bleep it out. I'm just gonna cut it out, but I'm gonna leave the rest of this in.
Good. That's great. I love that
I
for
agree.
us. But yeah, run, Ronnie, run. And part of what makes this movie so funny is the fact that now both David Cross and Bob Odenkirk have become relatively famous in their own right, apart from this show. Like, this is kind of how both of them got their names out to begin with. I mean, obviously, like, Odenkirk started with Second City, was a writer on SNL for a number of years. Cross kind of worked his
Also,
way up.
Simpsons.
Yes.
Odenkirk wrote for The Simpsons for a while as well.
I thought that was his brother. Did he write as well?
I did say Odenkirk. I didn't specify.
Yeah, I think it was Bill Odenkirk that wrote for SNL, for The Simpsons rather.
The Simpsons, yeah.
The Simpsons knock over temples with our tremendous strength. Yeah, I can, but yeah, I'm sure he's got his writer credits are actually highlighted here, but I'm just going to scroll through Bob's writing credits here. He was a writer on, he was a consultant writer on Tim and Eric Awesome Show, Great Job.
I believe that.
And Mr. Show, Saturday Night Live, Conan O'Brien, not The Simpsons. So that would have been his brother, Bill, who was the writer on The Simpsons. Gotcha. He did, however, provide additional material for a little show that I know you love called Dr. Kat's Professional Therapist.
Oh, yes. Oh,
and he was a writer. He was a writer on 3 episodes of the Dana Carvey Show, which we mentioned earlier this month when we talked to Master of Disguise. And he was also a writer on the Ben Stiller Show, which is why we probably have Ben Stiller in this movie.
That's the thing about Bob and David. Like, whether you like their show or not, you can tell by this movie that they are just best friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody that's anybody is in this movie.
And even a few people that used to be somebody, honestly. Like, you've got so many people in this, and it really speaks to, and again, it speaks to kind of the amount of bit parts they've had in so many things, the amount of writing gigs they had in so many places, and just the work that they were doing in and around Hollywood at this time, that they're able to get this many people into a single scene of this movie. And again, it's very similar to the party scene in Weird the Al Yankovic Story. It very much has those kind of vibes in it, except all those famous people are playing themselves and not other famous people.
Other famous people, yes.
Right. Conan O'Brien is Andy Warhol, and Emo Phillips is Salvador Dali, and et cetera, et cetera.
Yes.
Jack Black as Wolfman Jack.
Akiva Schaffer is Alice Cooper. Yorma Taccone
is Pee Wee
Get
Herman.
Well Soon is Pee Wee Herman. Yes. I think everybody loves Bob and David. I don't know what to tell you. I would love to have been hanging out with those guys at that time, because it seems like it just everybody loved them.
And so to see like David Cross kind of rise through the ranks and kind of get his fame from, stuff like Arrested Development, and to a lesser extent, stuff like, he was in Small Soldiers, a movie you and I both love, by Jadante, one of our favorite filmmakers. David Cross is just kind of one of those that guy actors. Like, he'll just show up and shit. Like, he's running with Barry Sonnenfeld. He's in both of the first 2 Men in Black movies. Like, he's someone who, again, is working with some relatively famous people, and Odenkirk is kind of right there in that boat, although it takes Odenkirk a little longer to achieve his high level of fame that he has now. But thanks to Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul and the phenomena that those shows were, he's a fucking movie star. He's Nobody 2 was in theaters earlier this year. Like, Odenkirk's a motherfucking movie star. He's leading movies. And I guarantee you, he and David Cross are still very good friends and still talk all the time. They have to be.
Yeah. Well, when David Cross started his podcast probably about a year ago, I think his first or second guest was Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
And unlike most of the episodes where he kind of seems like he's just having a conversation with a friend or something, like, those guys are fucking brothers. They're attached at the hip, and it's really fun to listen to them just talk off the cuff.
One of my favorite episodes of Arrested Development is the episode that Bob Odenkirk guest stars on as Lindsay and Tobias's marriage counselor.
Yes.
And they eventually like Tobias and the counselor start doing a scene together, and it's fucking hilarious. Like, it's so funny, and you can tell it's just those two guys who are so natural and just are so comfortable with each other.
They're
Just
so in tune. So in
being
tune to
given the
each other's sense of
freedom
humor.
to
Yeah.
riff. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Like,
Now,
I remember seeing them on like one of those like big like comedy, like, not, I don't know if it was Comic Relief or something like that, but they filmed a segment of like the two of them hanging out after the show, like after their show was canceled. And the joke is that they're waiting in line at a gangbang and they happen to be next to each other. And so they're completely naked. They're covering their crotches with their hands, and they're just like casually talking, like, "Oh, how you been? Oh, been all right. Been all right. How's the wife? How are the kids? Oh, they're good. They're good. Thanks so much for like." It just, and then it's like one of their numbers is called. Oh, that's me. I gotta go, and they just walk off to go, like have sex with a mattress actress. But yeah, that's the implication there.
nice.
So yeah, which I found as a 17-year-old very funny.
That is funny. I think for me, whenever I see either of them, it's nice to see them, but I always find so much more joy when they're together.
I would love for them to do something else together. Like, they have not worked together since With Bob and David, which I caught the first episode of. I need to go back and watch the rest of that. Because again, Netflix isn't trying to suppress my free speech or anyone's free speech.
Yeah.
So I still have a Netflix subscription.
For good or for ill, yeah.
Yeah. Who knows how much longer I'll have one, but I do right now.
Right?
They're not openly and blatantly support or kowtowing to fascism, but
Right. Now, I would say, though I said I always like them better together, my favorite David Cross thing ever, peak David Cross. If you're a fan of David Cross and you have not seen this show, what the fuck are you doing with your life? You need to check out a show called The Increasingly Poor Decisions of Todd Margaret.
I know of that show, but I've never seen that show. It has been on my list forever.
There's nothing like it. There's no character like Todd Margaret's. And the way you feel about this character is so complicated. Oh, man. Everybody just stop the podcast right now and watch the first 2 seasons of The Increasingly Poor Decisions of Todd Margaret. They're on Amazon Prime right now.
They're on Amazon Prime right now.
The 3rd season, they made like 10 years after the end of the 2nd season. And it's this weird like multiverse thing that like is insane but awesome. I don't know where the 3rd season is right now. I think it was originally made for Netflix, but I don't know where the 3rd season can be found right now. I definitely recommend all of those. It's a British show.
Tubi.
I think it's a BBC, maybe a BBC show.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's a British show. He's the star of it, and he's American, but like the only other American people that show up, Will Arnett shows up.
Right.
Spike Jonze, not novelty song Smith Spike Jonze, but creator of Jackass, music video director Spike Jonze. He shows up as a character, and who is replaced by
also on Tubi, but I don't know where the 3rd season is.
Spike Jonze in the 3rd season is replaced by Jack McBrayer.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah. Yes.
I love Jack McBrayer. That guy's hilarious.
Girl, me too.
Girl.
He seems like such a sweet fella too.
Yeah, he really, and just authentically like a nice guy. I saw him on, I think it was Seth Meyers' show. I caught a clip of him on that show where he's like, "Kids love you." And he's like, "It's because I insult them." And he just talks about how he's like really mean to kids and kids love him for it. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm just really, really mean, and they think it's hilarious. And as a former middle school and high school teacher, I can tell you, accurate.
Yeah,
they like abuse.
They like the piss taken out of them there.
They sure do. Boy, howdy do they. I can tell you the 3rd season of Todd Margaret is not on Netflix.
It's a hard one to get to. They did it so far after, and it didn't really do anything. Me and like a handful of people watched it, I think.
It was on IFC, and so if you didn't have like that cable package or that that satellite package, you couldn't watch it. because that was the
Well, the
only way to
third
watch it
season
here.
was not. I don't think.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure the third season was not. It's like I said, it was many, many years after the third season was made. But the increasingly poor decisions of Todd Margaret is one of the funniest and most uncomfortable shows I've ever sat through.
Okay.
It's wow. It's
It
something. There's
legitimately has
nothing
been on
like
my
it.
list forever. Legitimately has
Nothing
been
like
just
it.
one that I've always wanted to revisit. So
I've
yeah,
watched the first two
episodes
seasons.
2009 to 2016. Third
I
season is
watched
2016. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
the first two seasons. I've probably seen those first two seasons 5 or 6 times because I just love going on that journey. And it is a journey. It is serialized. It's not like they're not bottle episodes. It is one story. The first two seasons are. Like I said, the third season is this wacky kind of reboot thing that's its own thing that's really cool. Like, it's a really cool concept the way they did it. I've only seen that once because it just showed up and then I don't know where the fuck it went. After the first
Right.
time I saw it, it's just gone. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, it kind of doesn't seem like it does. Maybe you can find, maybe it can be found somewhere on the internet, but I don't know where.
I don't know. I'll check Internet Archive. Steven,
Okay.
pardon me. I'm sorry. I'm having hot flashes.
Oh, you're Ronnie Dobbsing it up in here, getting that shirt off.
I'm disrobing because I'm very warm.
I mean, that's why I keep a fan on me during records, because I know no one wants or needs to see this.
Well, I have an air conditioner back here, but it's loud. It would show up on the recording. You'd be able to hear it.
Yeah. I
Well, I
love
guess
that my
now
fan, this mic does not pick up my fan. I love that so
that's
much.
fantastic. I also
I
enjoy it.
recorded some audio with our good friend JP Leck last week, and had my fan going the whole time, and he did not pick it up at all.
Oh, are you in the Halloween special too, Steven?
I am the Halloween special.
Fantastic. Oh,
Yeah.
really? I have a small part in the Halloween special, Steven.
Oh, which role are you playing?
I'm the escort, the military escort.
Oh, okay. Are you the guy that I call Darth Vader or Bane?
Oh, because I have the weird voice.
Because
Yeah.
of the voice thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're the guy I call Darth Vader, and Joseph let me ad lib me calling you Bane, because I was like, who's another guy who talks weird? Bane. I'll call him Bane. Is that okay? He's like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, okay, great.
Yeah. It would be very painful, Steven.
For you. You think the darkness is your ally? I was born in the dark, raised in it.
What a swing. Tom Hardy always taking those big swings, and 99% of the time, boy, we're glad he did.
I mean, it's a guy, I don't think I've ever heard his actual voice, because he's always got some kind of weird affectation going on in his voice.
He's just got a British accent, but it's kind of it's almost like the southern accent of British accents. It's not quite Cockney, but it's very sloppy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I believe it.
He's like, not in Run, Ronnie Run, though, strangely enough.
Weird. I mean, he kind of didn't hit his stride till well after this movie came out, so that's not terribly surprising, I guess. Don't even know what he would be doing. I love that Gary Shandling is in this movie just to hand Ronnie not one, but 2 joints.
Yes, because and then in the yeah. Yes, indeed. You know, Steven, I know they're talking about beer, but there's another pair I'd like to get my hands on.
What's that, Tucker?
I think he's referring to the beer girl's breasts, Steven.
No, because immediately after that he says my balls.
Yes. But I also think
he's actually wanting to get a hold of his balls. That's what we're meant to think, and then the subversion of the joke is that he's talking about his testicles.
My face and your ass. Oh, half of the shit that he says doesn't even make sense, but the way he says it, with the confidence, you're like, okay,
yes,
all right,
got it,
yeah, sure, fantastic.
Beer girl, one of those 90s, early 2000s it girls that just I don't know what happened to her, but Nikki Cox. I think she was on the show Unhappily Ever After. I think that was her big breakthrough, maybe. I know she was in Apparently, she was in Mac and Me. Future episode of this podcast, Mac and Me.
Oh
She's
boy.
also as a younger girl in Terminator 2: Judgment Day. She's also in the movie that Leonardo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire don't want you to see, Don's Plum. But I'm just scrolling through her credits here because again, she was in. I feel like she was in some show for a while that she was kind of propelled her into stardom. Unhappily Ever After. Yeah, she did
Yeah,
100
that's the one.
episodes of that. That show lasted for 100 episodes, and I guarantee you, no one remembers that show, Tucker.
I don't remember the show because I never watched it, but I do remember the title. I remember it being on.
I feel like that was a show where the Bobcat Goldthwait voiced, yes, a bunny called Mr. Floppy in that
Nice.
show. So that's a thing that happened. It starred Jeff Pearson, Kevin Connolly, he of Entourage fame, Nikki
Oh
Cox,
yeah.
and Justin Burfield from the show Malcolm in the Middle was also on that show. So
Can
yeah, there
we?
you go. Sorry, go
Sorry,
ahead.
I was gonna say, can we pivot just real quick to
By
David
all means.
Koechner? Just
Sure.
because he is an unsung hero. He holds on his shoulders many comedies that did not deserve as much credit as they got, but because they were on the shoulders of this man, David Koechner, I think it's a shame that he didn't last very long on SNL because I think he's so talented, he's so funny in everything that I've seen him in, and I really wish that he had gotten his chance to kind of be a bigger comedy star like all the people he props up in all of these other
Right.
movies, you know?
This movie comes out 2 years before the first movie I saw Koechner in, which was Anchorman: The Legend of Ron Burgundy,
Mm-hmm.
where he is
Whammy.
hysterical. Whammy.
Yeah.
And I mean, like that movie. That's also the first movie that I saw Steve Carell in. Like I didn't
Mm-hmm.
know who Steve Carell was before that movie, and I think I knew who Paul Rudd was, but like I don't know what I had seen him in prior to that. So like that's kind of a linchpin movie for. And I saw that one in theaters. Did I go to see Anchorman 2 in theaters? I did. Did I regret
Yeah,
that
me
decision?
too.
I did.
Me too. Yeah, I saw it in theaters, and I knew it was going to be shit. I was like, there's no way that they're not just going to rehash all the same jokes.
And that's
And guess
exactly
what
what
they
they did.
did?
That's 100% what they did.
And what a waste! The new version of the news team fight. All the people they got in for that is so impressive, but just for what? Like for fucking what? Who gives a shit?
That's it. It's for what, but it's also one of those like it's bigger names,
Like fucking
but
Will
it's
Smith was there. Come on,
right.
man.
It's
Don't waste Will Smith.
it's too fucking much. That's just it. It's so many people. Like, because that's the joke is we just keep going bigger with it and bigger with it and bigger with it and surprise Harrison Ford is a werewolf. Like
Yeah.
it just like the fun of that first one was just how off the rails it went so quickly, and that you've got Luke Wilson who keeps getting arms ripped off, and Vince Vaughn, and like Ben Stiller, like Tim Robbins. Those guys show up, but then it's just okay. We got this guy, and then we got this guy, and then we got this guy, and you're just like, oh my god, just stop and get to the fucking thing. And after all that buildup, the thing is so fucking disappointing because it can't be anything else. There's
Well,
nothing else it
Steven,
can be after that buildup.
I feel sorry for our mutual friend Julie because she went with me to see that movie and she had not even seen the first one.
Oh,
Yeah, we came out of that
poor
theater and it was
Jules.
like, I
Oh
feel for you,
God.
girl. I'm so sorry we saw that. It's just garbage. And
I
like
saw
the only
that
thing
on
that's
vacation
even
with my ex, who was also a big Anchorman fan. So
the only thing even remotely funny about that movie is that it makes you think of how funny the first one was, and she didn't even have that context. I was
no,
like, you poor thing, you had to sit there for an hour and 40 minutes through that bullshit.
it's the whole. The only things funny in that movie are the things. Are you remembering how funny the first one was?
Mm-hmm.
And that's I guess that's kind of my issue with like Will Ferrell in general is when he's on, he is so on, but when he's off, he is so far off the mark. And honestly, for me, he's more off than he is on. Like I dislike most of his films personally.
I
But
think as a
that's a matter of
comedian,
taste, but yes.
Will Ferrell needs a lot of direction. I think he's
Yes.
really good at coming up with a character and figuring out who that character is,
Mm-hmm.
but you got to write him good material. You have to.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it shows some comedians can bust their way through bad material and make it sound good. Will Ferrell is not one of those. Because
Right.
he can be so funny. You give him the right thing and there's nobody else that would be able to say it as funny as he can. But you
Right.
don't give him something that's good and he still goes for it, but it's just embarrassing.
It is. And that's what it is like. And I feel like Jack Black kind of is almost his opposite number because Jack Black can take a really weak premise. And I mean, it's his success rate is not 100%. Sometimes you can tell he's struggling through it, but he can at least find the moments of humor to kind of brighten the thing up a little bit. Whereas Farrell, I think, leans too hard on the material. And if the material is bad, it's just going to stay bad.
Yeah. Yep. I do like his dramatic roles though. I think he's an excellent dramatic actor. They don't let him do that very often, but I do
I was
like
going
the
to
stuff
say,
that he's been in.
I haven't seen a lot of those. I wasn't a big fan of Stranger Than Fiction. I thought
I
that
liked
movie
that
was
one.
I thought that was overwritten, honestly.
I
It was
think
kind of one of
I was gonna
those, like,
say
it's really trying to be very clever.
I think that it when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, this isn't as good as the trailer made me think it was going to be." But I did really enjoy his performance in it because it's kind of a Truman Show kind of role for him,
Right.
where like yeah, it's silly, but he's giving a dramatic performance.
He is.
And he's good. I think he's good in that movie. I believe him in that movie.
Did you see Melinda and Melinda?
No, I don't even know what the fuck that is, Steven.
That's a Woody Allen film that he's in, which I
Oh yeah,
mean,
I would never see
ooh.
that. Yeah, I would not see a Woody Allen film. Sorry.
I don't blame you. I watched it before I knew most of the whole Woody Allen shit. So
I do a
but
very good Woody Allen impression, but it comes off as being very anti-Semitic, so I don't do
that
it
makes
anymore.
a lot of sense, and you should probably
Yeah.
not do that anymore.
I don't. I don't.
Good. But
It
no,
is
Melinda
legendary
and
though. People beg me to do it and I'm like, "No, I won't. I won't fucking do it. No, you can't make me. There's no amount of money."
Melinda is it's two writers, one of whom is played by Wallace Shawn. I forget who the other one is played by. But they're basically debating which is more potent, drama or comedy. And so one of them is trying to tell a comedic story and the other a dramatic story about this woman falling in love. And Will Ferrell is the romantic lead of the comedy portion. And then Chiwetel Ejiofor is the lead of the dramatic portion. And I think the actress Vanessa Shaw. But yeah, you've got Wallace Shawn, Neil Pepe, Rhoda Mitchell. I think Chloe Sevigny's in it. Yeah, Chloe Sevigny, Johnny Lee Miller. Like it's got a good cast to it, but it is a Woody Allen film. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, it's just so surprising to see who will just drop everything and be in one of his movies. I'm always disappointed when I see the cast list whenever he has a new movie. I'm like, oh, come on.
I will say the one that gave me hope was after I think it was the one of his more recent films. One of the host of one of my favorite podcasts, Griffin Newman, was in that movie. He said he did that movie because his dad was, a Woody Allen fan, and he kind of wanted to work with him. But then, like after that one came out, A Rainy Day in New York is the one it was. After that movie came out, like is kind of when everything exploded. He says, "You know what? I don't feel good about this. I shouldn't have done it. I'm just going to donate my salary to like one of those a charity that is like helping benefit women and survivors of that form of assault," which I really respected. And I think a lot of other actors kind of followed suit after that. But a lot of people came after him and was like, "Then why'd you do the movie?" And he's like, "That's really complicated. I don't really want to
like
get into it any more than I already have." Like, yeah.
The people who will be in a Roman Polanski movie too. It's like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, I get it, but also no. Like, you got to have a little integrity. Like, what the fuck?
The fact that man is still directing is obscene. 100%.
And the Ninth Gate is fantastic, but still, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I mean, Rosemary's Baby, Chinatown. The man has
Also,
directed
oh
good
my
films.
god, yes, he's a
But
fantastic director, a very talented man, also a fucking scumbag.
Correct. Both things can be true. We can hold both
Yep.
things in tension.
Yes,
and should, I think, with talented people who do terrible things. And should you engage with that art? I will. That's not a decision I can make for you. I will let you make that decision for yourself, but I will make that decision for myself, and we'll call it a day. But I will not defend the man or his actions. In the case of Woody Allen or Roman Polanski, quite frankly.
No, dude.
No,
dude.
Dude, no.
Dude, no.
But you know what? Neither of them directed Run, Ronnie, Run. In fact, Run, Ronnie, Run was directed by someone named Troy Miller. Let me take a look at Mr. Troy Miller here.
He was involved with the show, if I recall.
That seems very likely. It feels like and he's a big TV guy. I'm just kind of looking over some of his credits right now. Man has a ton of television credits.
Almost all comedy.
Exactly. Like he was, Greg the Bunny and Arrested Development. He was a producer actually on Arrested Development. He directed a couple David Cross specials. But yes, he was
the Conchords.
A segment director for Mr. Show with Bob and David, directed 20 episodes. He also directed, Tucker, I don't know if you know this, he directed a little movie starring Michael Keaton, but a movie that was intended for George Clooney, which is why the snowman in Jack Frost looks so much like George Clooney.
Yeah.
And nothing like Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
But he directed that movie. That movie he directed in 1998, right before the end of Mr. Show with Bob and David. He also directed the music video for the Chris Rock song Champagne.
No Sex in the Champagne Room.
No Sex in the Champagne Room. He also directed, again, this is probably why Ben Stiller showed up for this as well. He was a director on the Ben Stiller Show also. And those shows feel like they have kind of very similar sensibilities.
Tenacious D was a producer on.
And directed for that show as well, which is probably why we were able to get Jack Black in here. Like he just,
Jack Black was on Mr. Show as well.
Oh, was he? That I did not know. Maybe I missed that. But okay, that's good. But yeah, he directed Viva La Bam, the Bam Margera show that came out after Jackass. He's directed a lot of stand-up specials for guys like John Oliver, Brian Regan, Reese Darby, your boy Cat Williams, Joe Coy.
Why is he my boy? Why is Cat Williams my boy all of a sudden?
You love Cat Williams.
No, but he's riddled with controversy. Everybody wants to say he's my boy. I've always been okay with Cat Williams. Cat Williams is funny. I will say that. I don't know if he's
Jim
my boy,
Gaffigan,
but he's funny.
Martin Short, David Allen Greer, he's done just a ton of those. But yeah, it does a lot of TV work.
It's any comedy on TV. He's directed The Office. He's directed Parks and Rec, Goldberg's, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, everything. Do you remember? I'm looking here and I'm remembering the show Hood Adjacent that I used to enjoy. It only ran 8 episodes on Comedy Central.
Oh, I didn't watch that one.
James Davis was who starred in that one. And I was kind of waiting for him to become a big thing. It was kind of their next sketch show after Chappelle's Show and what was that really stupid one that was in between Chappelle's Show and Key and Peele? The guy, I want to say George Lopez, but it's yes, thank you. Oh, that guy is so annoying. Could not stand that show.
And he is pretty much just withered up. That guy doesn't have a career anymore.
Good.
All of his jokes were the lowest hanging fruit, and he stole his ideas from anybody he could. Did not have an original thought in his head.
Back in the day when that show was on, there was no streaming. And back then I was dating this gal who I refer to, well, nope, that's morbid. She is passed. But when we were together and we would watch Comedy Central, we would watch Comedy Central all the time. Watch South Park, Drawn Together, Daily Show, all that shit. So we just have Comedy Central on all the time.
Yeah.
And Mine and Mencia would come on and we'd be like, well, We'd
Right.
flip and we'd flip and we'd flip and we'd flip and we'd flip and nothing else would be on. We'd be like, all right, I
Exactly.
guess.
I
I
found
fucking
myself in that
guess.
predicament a number of times when that show was on. And honestly, I chuckled maybe twice.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I do miss Drawn Together, though. Whatever happened to that show? I like that show.
That show, I've tried to watch that one more recently, and I don't know that it holds
I'm
up
sure it
very
doesn't
well,
hold up. No,
honestly.
I'm absolutely positive it doesn't show up. I used to have a shirt, actually, that gal I was speaking of before gave to me of the Fox gal that's voiced by what's her nuts that is now on Abbott Elementary, like in physical form. But the girl
Is that Cree
uh,
Summer?
who voiced the twins in Rugrats.
I think that's Cree Summer.
Yes,
Cree Summer
she
is like
wears
a
the hat.
legendary voice actor. Yes.
Yes.
Yep, that's her, Cree Summer.
So the character that she played, which was a black girl in a fox costume,
She was
and
Foxy Brown, or not Foxy, but Foxy something, and she was basically a knockoff of Josie and the Pussycats, the black girl from Josie and the Pussycats, Valerie.
yes, and I had a shirt of her and the princess gal from that show making out.
That tracks.
Yeah, no, I would never have picked it for myself. I only wore it in honor of the deceased.
Sure. But yeah, no, I remember watching that show. I decided, I think in 2023 that I was just going to do a watch through of that show just to see if, and I didn't make it past the first episode.
Nope,
I
I
was like,
barely made it
no.
through. It was funny then, but just enough to keep it on. Really,
Right. Yeah.
I
It's
could
kind of one
not
of,
imagine watching it now.
oh my God.
I don't even want to.
It's so homophobic. It's
Yep,
so
all
racist. Like
that. Mm-hmm.
every awful thing you can be, it is that. Like it's that early 2000s kind of edgy where you're like, yeah, we're pushing boundaries, and no, all you're doing is being really fucking offensive.
Yep, and there were some people who were doing that as satire then, which I think is fine, but most people were just
Yeah.
not doing it as satire.
The fact that you have Adam Carolla on the main voice cast tells me satire was not involved.
Yeah.
I mean, just again, call it a hunch, call it what you will, but yeah. I feel like there was a movie that came out, but I don't know if it was theatrically released, and I don't know if it was. I also don't know if it was like the last thing that they did, like Deadwood. Like this is not. We're not making sequels. We're doing this to end the thing. Mm-hmm. So I'll have to do a little more research, but because I don't want that to be a future episode of this podcast. I truly don't.
Speaking of movies that were not released in theaters but direct to DVD, this movie, Ronnie Run.
There we go. You got to
did not get a theatrical release.
No, it opened at Sundance. In fact, I don't even think it was on the initial master list for that very reason. But when you brought it up, I was like, fuck it. I mean, at this point, if you can make the case for it, we'll throw it on. Like, if you can make a strong enough case as to why we should include it, I'll throw it on the list. Like, I'm not that precious about it. You're more pedantic about this shit than I am, honestly.
I can be, yes. I certainly can be.
But yes.
I certainly can are.
You can be and are.
I can are.
Pedantic as fuck.
Yo.
But yeah,
my greatest strength and my greatest weakness.
Dave Koechner. To circle back to Dave Koechner, man had just a number of credits going into like his movie credits. He's in Wag the Dog as the director in 1997. Dirty Work in 98, Dill Scallion in 99. I have no idea what that even is. He's the pilot in The Spy Who Shagged, or co-pilot in The Spy Who Shagged Me during probably one of those montages about the shape of the ship. Apparently played a recurring character across many WWE programs called Angry Man with Sign. Yeah, he's in Man on the Moon. He's in Freaks and Geeks. Mm-hmm. He's on an episode of The Norm Show. And like he does this, he's on an episode of Greg the Bunny. He's in a movie called The Third Wheel. And like does a couple other like small roles in TV and film, and then hits with Anchorman in 2004. And I feel like that's where most, and then the year after that, he's Cooter in The Dukes of Hazzard. He's like in one scene of The 40-Year-Old Virgin. He's in Thank You for Smoking, like immediately just blows up after Anchorman. And I feel like it's one of those things where a lot of people were kind of finding him at once.
Yup.
But yeah, that definitely kind of feels like his kind of ascendancy is in Anchorman, because I didn't know him from Adam when I saw that. I was not watching SNL in the 90s when he was on it, so I had no idea.
Now, Steven, who you would know this. You're a fellow wait, don't tell me fan. Who's the guy that's commonly a panelist? He's on all the time, but he sounds just like David Koechner in this movie.
Oh God,
Sounds just like every time. Like the first time I heard him on Wait, Don't Tell Me, I'm like, is that David Koechner? Just like doing his accent there. What's going on? You know what I'm talking about.
Is that the older guy?
I've never seen, like, I still barely know what anybody in that show looks like. I just know their voices. Well, except for Paula Poundstone. Me and Paula go way back.
This I know. Because I'm wondering if he was on the episode, the recording of which I attended.
Oh, because you had gone to
last
one.
year for my birthday. Yeah, I did.
Peter
Sagal was not there. Peter Sagal was not there. He was out that day, but Karen Chi guest hosted.
Oh, yeah.
And Bill Curtis was there. And Bill Curtis said we were one of the wildest audiences he'd ever seen at a taping for Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Did he say that you were incredible?
No, he would never say that.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'm just making sure they didn't say that.
He did say that he did say that we sounded like we were like a drunken frat party. And we all took that as a compliment. Yes,
absolutely.
I'm trying to look through the archive to just kind of see who the panelists tend to be, because I have a guy in mind. I think I. Of last year.
Can we get your mother's maiden name too, Stephen, and your social security now that we know your birthday? What year was that, Stephen? Let me write this down.
You legitimately mentioned that earlier in this podcast.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, now we can get all your shit. Fantastic.
Bleep one of those for me, please.
I got you, dude. I'm already on it behind the scenes here. Making shit happen.
As we are all grateful that you do. Fuck. And I'm just
so it's so uncanny how much he just sounds like David Koechner in this movie.
Roy Blount Jr.
Yes, thank you.
And he was there the episode that I saw the recording for.
Does he look like David Koechner in this movie?
No, goodness, no. He is actually an older gentleman. I'd say he's probably in his, if I had to guess, probably late 70s. And he is he's got a full head of very white hair. And he cracked me up at that episode. In fact, if you can hear my laugh at all, it is because of him. Roy Blount Jr. Says "whoop whoop Gangnam Style" in such a way that made me like cry actual tears.
I can imagine just thinking about it. It wasn't even there.
It was wonderful. It was that is the episode from July 20th, 2024 was the release date of that episode.
Dude.
And it was,
who was the special guest?
It was Olympian Allison Felix.
Oh, nice.
And the panelists were Roy Blount Jr., Shantira Jackson, and Hari Kondabolu. And they were all amazing. It was so fun to be able to watch. And it was a really great birthday present from my partner, who bought the tickets like 2 days earlier and was like, "We're going." It was a lot of fun. We had an absolute blast, because she's also a big NPR fan, and she had been to a taping before, but with someone of the other political persuasion, and so did not have a very good time as a result.
Oh, good old WBEZ. Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. I do. But yeah, Run, Ronnie, Run. I just kind of wanted to review kind of because we had been talking about Koechner as kind of a supporting player. I wanted to kind of run through his bona fides up to this point.
Yeah. Another thing that stands out in this movie is a mystery that I've never gotten solved, because Bob and David don't really like to talk about it.
Can't imagine why.
Is the little kid with the special shoes. Why did David Cross dub over his voice? Why?
I feel like that's a
It's
joke.
it's fantastic. I love it. It's great. Mr. Ronnie, Mr. Ronnie.
You know what it reminds me of is
What?
the Steve Odekirk, no relation to Bob Odenkirk.
Yeah.
It reminds me of the Steve Odekirk film Kung Pao Enter the Fist is what it
Mm-hmm.
reminds me of. Like he's doing very much a chosen kind of like I'm, very stereotypical English dub of an Asian film kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like just because there's an Asian kid, he's dubbing the voice and that's the joke. Like I feel like that's all there is to it. I don't
I
feel
love
like there's anything else.
their entire relationship is just that he wants Ronnie to buy him special shoes, but Ronnie
He's like,
wants
"Fuck
to
you, not
find
doing
the
it."
people what make the special shoes and pay them not to make the special shoes. And he wants fairies to get him those shoes. He wants the
Yeah.
fairies so bad.
Like it was, oh look, Uncle Ronnie, I got my shoes. Shit, I don't care. Like,
I don't give a fuck.
yeah, that's what it is. Shit, I don't give a fuck.
Oh, and David Koechner's in the iron lung. Clay's in the iron lung.
The
I got
escalation, the escalation of what happens to Clay throughout this film. Like you first meet him on a crutch.
Yes.
He's just on a crutch. He's like, well, who's that handsome son of a bitch? And then he like gets the next time you see him, it's like after the bus accident. He's got the
metal thing on his head.
And then Odekirk, Terry backs into him with the car, and so the next time you see him, he's in a wheelchair with the neck brace. Can't feel anything below my chin.
He's moving it with his mouth too. He's moving the wheelchair with his mouth. Yeah,
he's the little like Pete Frampton like thing.
No, it's
but
not
it controls the wheelchair.
Yes,
I mean it's.
I know what you mean. Yes,
adjacent. They look the same. And then, of course, the next time you see him, he's in the iron lung. And then, of course, the last time you see him in the post-credit scene, which I watched just before this recording, he's a brain in a jar. And they open the jar and just dump some beer in.
Having a champagne jam. Speaking of champagne jam, the song Champagne Jam in this film is a remake of the original song, and it is performed by none other than one of my former favorite bands, and a band that I still like to listen to every once in a while, Ween.
Oh, you do love Ween.
I do love Ween, yes. And I have a Ween tattoo. First
do?
tattoo I ever got.
I've seen your Ween tattoo, and
it's
you
old
can show
enough
it to me
to
a
drink.
lot more easily now that you don't have a shirt on.
That's true. I am partially nude.
You're Ronnie, just full on Ronnie Dobson it up in here.
I've really got the hairy nipples to prove it too.
You made so much of this movie your personality. It's not even funny. Like you really did.
But it's no. Here's the thing. I didn't make it my personality. It's just they happen to be parallel. Like I was who I was before I saw this movie. It just so happens that it's very similar to some of the overarching characteristics of certain characters in this film. That's why I think I relate to it so much and I enjoy it so much, because I do see a lot of myself in some of these characters. Hopefully the more positive parts.
I mean, yeah, it definitely feels like you have you and Ronnie are kindred. Let
me give you a little bit of an example of how we're alike and how we're dislike. I would pee in a jar.
You would,
but I wouldn't put it on the dash of somebody's car and slam the door.
Which is the first thing we see Ronnie Dobbs doing.
That's the difference. That's how much like Ronnie Dobbs I am. Like I will go this far, whereas he goes way the fuck over there with everything.
Right.
We start at the same place is what I'll say. We start at the same place.
He just tends to run a little further than you do, as it were.
Yes. The scene with the fooderator, I love that they keep playing that over in a loop. It's just so terrifying. The look on her face, like, they just play it on a loop.
Can you just edit that out with your Hollywood magic? No, I don't think we can.
And I love that all of Terry's products are just so useless. Like his nickel holder, it holds one nickel.
The problem with nickels is you're always losing them.
And the problem was with food. And he
What's
just,
the number one problems in kitchens today? No one knows. It's food. And you're like, wait, hold on. What the fuck are we talking about here, man? And that's the thrilling miracle segment that again is the super pan of my favorite Bob and David sketch. Only British people can fly.
I love that he
love
doesn't
it.
have an accent. He wasn't born with an accent. He's British, but he wasn't born with an accent.
Which is itself a comment on how terrible Bob Odenkirk is at accents, really. Like, he can really only do a British accent, and honestly, he can't do a British accent. Like, his British accent is terrible. He's, like, slipping in and out of it. So it's almost like, okay, we need to comment on this. Now, let me ask you, Tucker, because I'm actually very curious.
Yep.
Do we know what elements of this film that Cross and Odenkirk object to so strongly in this film? Like, why is it that they've essentially disowned the theatrical cut of this movie?
Well, because they signed up with New Line to do a Mr. Show movie. And when they signed up to do that, they wanted to do a sketch movie. They wanted to do like, and now for something completely different, or The Meaning of Life, where it's just interconnected sketches and stuff. New Line did not want to do that. So from the beginning, it was a battle. It was an uphill battle. The whole movie was an uphill battle. And I think that might have been why they left that deleted scene out, because he does mention like having to fight with the producers and stuff so much on the film when he's going on his little fourth wall breaking rant.
I'm realizing that we have not discussed on mic the deleted scene that you're referring to. Would you mind discussing that here?
So it's not on the internet, so don't even look for it there. Go to your local library and get a copy of the DVD if you want to see this deleted scene. And it is,
or just fucking buy it.
It's like $5. Yeah, you can buy it for like $5. But it's essentially an extended version of the scene with Jeff Goldblum, where they're all talking about what they want. And when Terry comes and calls out Ronnie for not being drunk anymore and letting all the children of America down, when Ronnie is whining about the things in his life, he slowly slips out of character and becomes David Cross, bitching about the movie, about how the budget is shit, the company that's making it doesn't want to do what they want to do, how they're just using all the same people and sets and props from their show, and eventually...
Which is something he does in the original Ronnie Dobbs sketch in the first episode of Mr. Show.
So it is a callback to that, for sure.
So much of this movie is just like an extended version of the sketch, and I feel like that's the weakest element of it. We can get to that here in a second. You complete what you were talking about. Sorry.
But then Terry, or for a second it's actually Bob, gets him to drink the beer, and he gets his beer goggles on, and he gets back into character, and they go get arrested. Yeah.
Right. I got my beer goggles on now. I'm thinking a lot more clearly.
Hey, fucked up dog. Because he always shows up with his other two friends who like barely ever get any lines. They're just there.
Right. They're just kind of hanging out, trying to get, like Ben Stiller, trying to get the dog to eat vomit that someone vomited.
Eat that vomit, dog.
I got to tell you, a really weird time to try to be eating curry while watching this movie. And I'm just sitting there and I'm looking at the screen and I'm looking at my curry and I'm like, this suddenly became a lot more unappetizing all of a sudden.
I like that it's just a stray dog. They don't know where it's from, but it still comes with them everywhere. And they just refer to it as fucked up dog.
Fucked up dog. It's one of the gang. It's just,
hey, fucked up dog. Yes. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, like ridiculous. And again, I feel like I think a sketch movie would have worked better, and in a lot of ways, because I feel like this is just an overly bloated version of the sketch from the first episode, which itself took up less than half the episode, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and there are there's more Ronnie Dobbs in Mr. Show. He's not just in the
Sure.
first episode. He's a reoccurring
I know.
character.
But
Like I said,
mean,
that's
the
where we
arc of
get
this show is just that episodes, like that element. I mean, you did say the musical section was from another episode, but like that,
slightly
I feel
based
like,
on it. Yeah.
yeah, is kind of one of the only
The
segments
concept.
that's taken from an episode other than that first episode. They literally just took that narrative device from that first episode and made that the movie, which, yeah.
I don't have a problem with that because I think it's still consistently funny. I think that it's different enough and it improves upon it enough that for me it's consistently funny. Now another movie that does that is Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
Mm.
And I think that that's a fantastic movie too because all it does is just hits all the same beats as the show they had on HBO. Tells basically all the same stories, just kind of condenses them and puts them into an hour and a half. Well, you got the origin. Basically, after the origin, you get the stuff from the show.
And another thing, I would have liked to have seen Bob and David playing more characters because that's part of the show is that they're playing like
they're the R&B group.
Yes, but those are like the only other couple of characters that they play.
I love Bob Odenkirk too. He doesn't. It's so like for the longest time I didn't know that was him.
Erotic Tangerines, Tucker.
Because he's got the face and the long hair and the
the pimp hat.
Double damn.
damn. The Erotic Tangerines and the Erotic Letter from Ben Vereen. Like, we love it.
Vereen.
And the letter says, to hot lady from Ben Vereen.
Yes.
I mean, I think there are so many elements of this movie that work really well, and I'm really glad they were able to get so many of the original cast members back, even if they are just in very small roles. I think Jill Talley probably has the most to do as Tammy, but then like you get Tom Kenny as the both the guru and the
reporter that always says the opposite of what he's trying to
what
say.
He means, and he's. And again, you said that was great. Another character from the show. I feel like if they had been able to kind of work in more elements from the show, I feel like it might have been more successful overall. But
I think so too. But I really think I like the way that it turned out because you do get a single narrative, but every once in a while, like when you get the cut for time, the Jack Black scene, and you get the music video, like every once in a while, you do get a little sketch in there that's not specifically part of the movie, so it's kind of the best of both worlds. And I know because of the experience that Bob and David don't like this movie, but I really think that they should be proud of it because despite everything that went on behind the scenes of this movie, and from what I can tell, it was not a good time for anybody. They still made one hell of a funny movie. Like I barely stop laughing in this movie. The majority of this film, I'm at least exhaling sharply through my nose. And at the most, I'm guffawing and having to pause it because like I probably have to go pee because I'm laughing so hard.
That tracks. I mean, and again, for me, I feel like it's not super successful. Again, I enjoy it because, again, I enjoy Bob and David's humor. But like the fact that I would like to see them get to make the movie they wanted to make or a movie similar to that movie. I would love, and again, I love when they work together. I would love to see the two of them get together and try to make something new in the form of a film, perhaps. I think that would be phenomenal, and I would love to see that. One last thing I will say before we move on to the next part of this, but I was during the deepest, darkest era of the pandemic, the George Lucas Talk Show, which is a really, really hilarious comedy show wherein comedian Connor Ratliff plays George Lucas as though he is hosting a talk show, which the fact that George Lucas is kind of devoid of personality and that a talk show host needs to have a big personality is just really fucking funny. But they actually get celebrities to be on it. And they managed to get Paul F. Tompkins. And nice. it was shortly after With Bob and David came out, and they mentioned to him that he had gotten a special thanks on that show. And they're like, would you call Bob Odenkirk right now and just say you're welcome? And it was like shortly after he'd had his heart attack on the set of Better Call Saul. And so Paul F. Tompkins like pulls out his cell phone right there on the show and calls him. And it's like, hey, Bob, I know I'm here on the George Lucas talk show. And which, of course, Bob Odenkirk has no idea what the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Paul's like, I'm here on the George Lucas talk show. And they were very kind to point out to me that you thanked me, that I was thanked on the credits of With Bob and David. And I just wanted to take this time to say, you're welcome. And Bob's like, it's about fucking time. He's like, you put that shit out there and you don't know if people notice. And it's just so good that it got, and then it's a very short call. He hangs up because again, he's in convalescence. And the producer of the show goes, I think that's his first appearance since his heart attack. I think we got that.
Nice.
Which is just and of course, Paul F. Tompkins has like a blink and you miss it cameo in this movie as the safari guy on TV,
which is surprising, but he must have had like scheduling issues or something because he's such a big part of the show.
He is absolutely, and he's one of the cops that arrests Roddy Dobbs in the very first episode. Like, and I think because this movie comes out the exact same year as Master of Disguise, so I'm pretty sure Jay Johnston couldn't do this movie because he was in Master of Disguise. Yeah, because I feel like they probably would have tried to get him otherwise. But yeah, like everybody else, and I was telling you before we started recording, I think January 6th participant Jay Johnston is the only actor, like one of the main crew of actors that is not in this movie.
Agreed. There is someone else. I can see them, but I can't tell you that's wild. I'm looking on IMDb, and first that pops up is there's Jack Black.
Mm-hmm.
From this movie because he's doing that Anaconda movie. Have you heard about this? You seen this, Steven? The Anaconda with
Black Anaconda,
Black and
yes.
Paul Rudd.
Where
they want to. That's wild. I'm pretty excited about. I didn't know until recently what that even was. John Ennis. That's who.
John Ennis is in it. He's the bartender. Where like Bob Odenkirk is like Terry is like just like calling him names the whole time. He's like, "Hey man, knock that shit off," and like throws him out of the bar.
That's right. But he's just that's it though.
That's because, it. No, like it's a small
John
role,
Ennis
but he's in
it. Like he's outside of Bob and David. He's probably the one who is in the most shit in Mr. Show. John Ennis is like a structural support beam of Mr. Show.
I will say this, looking at the Mr. Show IMDb page, he is the only person other than Bob Odenkirk and David Cross to be in all 30 episodes of Mr. Show.
Yeah. Yep.
Like Jay Johnston is the next one, and he's only been in 28. Paul F. Tompkins 27, Jill Talley 26. Like, and it just keeps going down from there.
Yeah. Yeah. But what a time for comedy. I mean, all those guys coming up together. You've got Ben Stiller and his crew, and you got Bob and David and his crew, and you got Tenacious D, and they all know each other and want to do stuff with each other. Yeah.
I mean, those three shows I always kind of think of them in the same breath. Like they're all kind of interconnected, and so many of those people, maybe it was because of David Cross, I don't know, but so many of those people went on to do Arrested Development. Like guest spots, major, minor, like Becky Tyre is in there, Jerry Minor, Jay Johnston, Bob Odenkirk, as I mentioned earlier. Like so many people from that group did go on to do shit on Arrested Development as well. And that's a show that I adore inside, outside, forward, and backwards. I love Arrested Development and always will.
Yeah, I would, me too, and I will even defend the latter seasons.
I defend season 4. I think in season 5 is indefensible, but that's me.
Okay.
I like that we get Gene Smart in there though. That I like.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always a win.
Absolutely. Gene Smart is a treasure of the national variety. Tucker, anything else you want to say about Run, Ronnie, Run, Mr. Show, any of this before we move on to the box office game?
I really, really like it. And if you haven't seen it, I would recommend it.
Now it is on, it's rentable. I found it on YouTube and almost in its entirety. So you can check that out there.
It's also on the Internet Archive. You can watch it there as well. I just don't think that anybody who has any rights to this film really gives a fuck what happens to it, because this is a weird case. This is a weird case where I find a movie that I think is just fantastic, and it doesn't go anywhere. Usually when I discover something, it starts to gain a bit of a following. Like Pootie Tang was slow and steady, but eventually we've got a big following for Pootie Tang. But back when I was
Sure.
watching it, it was just me and the girl I was dating at the time. We were the only two motherfuckers watching that movie.
That's true.
And this movie, it's just never, nothing's ever happened to it. It's always just remained just sort of, nobody knows about it. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody wants to give it a chance.
That's kind of where we come from on this one.
And I think it's a shame. And I'm hoping one day, and I'm not implying that like I have some supernatural power to make people like things. It's more that I usually find things right before they find their audience. Like just a few seconds before.
You're the ultimate.
It's like, oh, hey, yes, not on purpose. Just naturally that way.
So this movie premiered at the Sundance Film Festival on January 20th in the year of our Lord 2002. I'm going to go with the following box office weekend of January 25th, 2002 for the box office on this one, because as mentioned, it did not get a really wide, any kind of theatrical release outside of Sundance. So, and I can't find the DVD numbers for it at all. So we're just going to go with that January weekend. At number one at the box office, retaining its number one position in its fifth week, is the Ridley Scott film Black Hawk Down.
Oh, people love that movie with Josh Hartnett. My dad loves that movie. That's a dad movie.
That is 100% a dad movie. That's a dad movie and like a social studies teacher movie.
Yeah.
In second place, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s, is that his? I don't know if this is his follow up to Jerry Maguire, but it's definitely a movie he made after he won his Oscar. Snow Dogs.
Oh boy.
Yeah. In third place, it's the number one. It's opening new this weekend. At number three.
Come on now.
I'm a little drunk my own self. At number three, A Walk to Remember, based on, I believe, is that a John Green novel? I don't fucking care. Who cares? Not me.
No, John Green was too young at that point.
Okay. I'll defer. In fourth place, the movie that would go on to win the Oscar here in a few months, Ron Howard's A Beautiful Mind, has been in theaters for about 6 weeks at this point. In fifth place, one of the weirdest supporting roles from Luis Guzman I've ever seen, The Count of Monte Cristo. Though I do think that is a good movie. Jim Caviezel, Guy Pearce, and I think he's third billed in the movie, Luis Guzman. Love that dude, though. Love Luis Guzman. In sixth place, The Mothman Prophecies, also opening new this week.
Oh, I like that one. I love a good Richard Gere. And I like The Mothman Prophecies because it's one of the few films because that film, The Mothman Prophecies, is a story, a fictional story that they wrote around a nonfiction book. Because the book, The Mothman Prophecies, there's no story to it. It's just the recordings of the eyewitness accounts, alleged accounts of, whatever was in Point Pleasant in the 50s and caused the Silver Bridge to collapse.
Sure.
And so they just took all of that info and they made a story into it. And normally that does not work for me.
So you don't care for the film adaptation?
I love
that. Because that's essentially what adaptation is too.
Yes, I understand that. I'm just saying, usually for me, that sort of thing doesn't work. But that movie actually got me way into John Keel, and John Keel is the man who wrote The Mothman Prophecies. He also wrote a really good book called The Complete Guide to Mysterious Beings, and he is also, in the afterword of that book, he explains the supernatural in the most believable, for me, way that I've ever. I still don't believe in any of that shit, but his explanation makes the most sense to me, is what I'll say.
Fair. I always get that movie confused with the other movie with another movie that came out in 2002, the Kevin Costner film Dragonfly. I'm always like, Mothman Prophecies, is that the one with Kevin Costner? Like, no, Richard Gere. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Steven, speaking of John Keel, the writer of the book, there's a character in the movie who has the same profession as John Keel, a college professor and someone who investigates the supernatural and the paranormal and all that. He
Mhm.
is played by our good buddy Brian Cox,
I love that man.
and
Also in
he's
adaptation, Brian Cox.
his name is Dr. Leek, which is Keel backwards.
Nice.
And I think that's really cool. Also,
You
I
love to
always
see.
love a good Richard Gere. I'll say it again.
You do,
I
and you
do.
did, and you have, and you will.
Primal Fear, Officer and Gentleman. Fuck, man. Come on. Chicago, get out of here.
He's really good in Chicago. At number 7 this week, up from 50th the week before. I think it's finally opening wide. Yeah, it's in 1,268 theaters, and it added 1,267 this week. It's the film that would earn Sean Penn an Oscar nomination, but mercifully not a win. I Am Sam, a movie that does not hold up.
Not only a cringy movie, but a cringy soundtrack.
Yeah.
All those poorly redone Beatles songs.
There are a couple tracks I like. I love the Eddie Vedder "Hide Your Love Away." That's the one I will stand for.
One, yeah.
That's the one I will stand by.
Was the Fiona Apple one on that one too, or did she do that outside of that?
Oh, I have no idea. I had friends in college that really loved that soundtrack, and I thought it was just okay. Now I pretty much don't stand for any part of that movie. Although I will stump for Dakota Fanning because she's great. In 8th place, we have The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, down from number 3 the week before. In its 6 weeks, it's already earned over $250 million. And then in 9th place, a movie I referenced earlier in this episode, a little movie called Kung Pao Enter the Fist, opening new this week at number 9. And then in 10th place, another movie I've mentioned on this fucking episode, Tucker. A little movie starring one Jack Black and his King Kong co-star Colin Hanks, down from 5 the week before. In its 3rd weekend, it's Orange County.
Orange County, yes. Now, it is fair to mention, even though we did the numbers from when it premiered at Sundance, this movie did sit on the shelf for 2 years. That's why I'm saying nobody. That's why it's on the Internet Archive. That's why you can watch it on YouTube, because nobody who has any skin in the Run, Ronnie, Run game gives a fuck about that movie or what happens to it. Right. They didn't now, then. They don't now.
Do you want me to do the weekend from the week it actually came out on DVD?
No, fuck you, no. No.
Because I can do that,
That's
too.
Enough, Steven. That's enough, Steven.
Because that's the following year on September 19th, 2003. I won't do it. The tomatometer score for Run, Ronnie, Run is a 71%.
Which is surprisingly fair.
Right. There is no critics' consensus for this movie, but 71% fresh and 72% audience score. So people like this movie, generally speaking. The Metascore is a 57 based on mixed or average reviews from 9 different critics. Tucker, would you care to take a stab at the Letterboxd score for 2022 or for 2002's rather? Excuse me. Run, Ronnie, Run.
It's going to be a shot in the dark because I don't. Oops, careful there. I don't. I don't really think that the people who are writing the meme reviews on Letterboxd are the type of people who would enjoy this kind of humor.
Probably not.
It's too sophisticated for them, Steven. Yeah, we made a cottage out of cheese. We'll get them a little cheese cottage. We're gonna find something to make them jealous.
You can eat the whole thing except the bottom. That's cardboard.
That's cardboard. Yeah. Oh man. Oh wow. I love it when people fuck around and make a really great movie. Accidentally make a really great movie when no one's trying or no one cares. Right. I'm gonna say I'm shot in the dark. I'm just gonna play it safe and say between 2.7 and 3.2.
It's a 3.0. You pretty much got it right,
dude.
In between there. So yeah, you pretty much nailed it on that one. Well done. Out of 5 stars, how many are you giving to Run, Ronnie, Run, Tucker?
Now I am going to give Run, Ronnie, Run 4 stars because, though I do think it is a perfect film, I also they really really fucked up by not putting the extended version
Mm-hmm.
of the guru scene in there because it's perfect. I don't think it would have affected the pacing at all. It's fantastic. This only gets 4 stars from me because you can see the cracks in this movie.
Right.
You can see that sometimes that maybe motherfuckers just don't want to be there. Like they're really
Right.
not having a great time, and that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Though I do love how they lampoon that during the credits. Best credits sequence ever, because you're expecting bloopers, and they are bloopers, but it's always David Cross just getting hurt, more progressively more hurt, and he's just like, and the one where the
Smiling
camera
with a thumbs up.
walks up on him, and he's like, "Get her the fuck off the set." And he's like, he smiles.
Yeah, smiles, and
Oh man!
after the old lady just pummels the shit out of him. Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
And he's got that 1 tequila,
Perfect.
2 tequila, 3 tequila floor shirt on.
Yes.
And then stands up, walks over to the old lady, and you can hear him say through his mic, his lav mic, it's called acting, and they just walk off.
I mean, one of the best bits in this whole movie is the bit they play during the credits.
Yeah.
I will say that.
It's a great bit, for sure.
That's a 4-star movie for me.
It's a 3-star for me, again,
Fair.
because again, I take a bit more umbrage with the fact that you can see the cracks. The fact that we're not really able to get the film that they wanted to make, that it feels like there's a note of bitterness in this thing. And I feel like while the satire I feel like works, it almost feels tacked on to me as well. And like trying to blow up a single sketch into into a full feature film, it becomes a little unwieldy and difficult to manage. And while I am having a lot of fun throughout, it ultimately, like, I'm not going to put a rose on a pig and call it a beautiful dame or whatever. It's deeply flawed, but I still had a good time. So it's better than just okay, but it's not quite great in my mind.
Yeah.
So yeah, 3 stars for me.
That's fair.
Which makes our average for this episode a 3.5 for Run, Ronnie, Run. That's what we're tacking onto it. And that, Tucker, appears to be our episode on the 2002 Mr. Show film.
Movie.
Run, Ronnie,
Mr.
Run.
Show movie.
Mr. Show movie, yeah. And also, Tucker, that's the end of Sketch-tember. And if I'm checking this correctly, we've got Spooky-thon kicking off next month. Our annual Spooky-thon.
Shit, Steven. Shit.
Our 6th annual Spooky-thon. We've been doing this since 2020. Spooky-thon. And we've got a theme for Spooky-thon. You'll find out what that is next week. Of course, if you're one of our patrons, you'll find out on the 1st of October. You can find that at patreon.com/disenfranchpod. Patrons, if you pay at the $5 level, you get access not only to what we're covering, what we're planning to cover, I should say, on the main feed for the upcoming month on the 1st of each month. If I remember to post it, which I will probably have to do as soon as I'm done with this recording. But you also get just days and days worth of content behind that paywall. You can also join for free, join the official conversation of the Disenfranchised podcast. Again, that is patreon.com/disenfranchpod. And follow us on social media. We're on Letterboxd and Bluesky at disenfranchpod. You can shoot us an email, disenfranchpod@gmail.com. And while you're on the internet, please, whatever you do, swing by Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and leave us a nice, juicy 5-star rating and review. That goes a long way to helping other people like you find podcasts like us. And quite frankly, we like you. And if you like us, we would sure appreciate that. So I think that's all the plugs for myself. I am your host, Stephen Foxworthy. You can find me on Bluesky and Letterboxd at Chewy Walrus. God, so many other things. This is, I am in a play that opens this week, tomorrow, as of the release of this episode. In Mokina, Illinois, at the Front Street Theater, there on Front Street, the main drag there in Mokina, Illinois. I'm in Inherit the Wind. I'm playing the Reverend Jeremiah Brown. Hear me talk in a Southern accent and preach fire and or brimstone, depending on my mood that day. Tickets are still available, but selling fast. You can buy those at CCC Theater. That's theater with an RE.com. If you're in the Chicagoland area for the next 2 weekends and want to stop in, that would be awesome. First weekend is almost entirely sold out. I think there's, as of last check, 5 tickets available. And honestly, those may be sold out. So maybe next weekend will be your best bet. You can, straight up maybe. I also want to shout out Wells University, the podcast I do. I mentioned earlier in this episode with a friend of the show, Hope Stough. My schedule did not permit me to record the most recent episode, so oops, my bad. We're gonna get caught up as soon as we can and get back on a regular recording schedule. This play is a lot, but check out new episodes. We drop those every couple of weeks as we're able. And if you are at all interested, even tangentially, in the life and work of Orson Welles, it will be an engaging listen for you, I'm sure. So check that out. Again, it's called Wells University. You can find that wherever you get your podcast as well. And also, I should mention that friend of the show, JP Leck, has recently tasked me with starring in the Halloween special for the Endless Elsewhere podcast. You can hear me on that, and also see me in the upcoming sequel to Circle City Supernatural 2, which again, Tucker and Brett are both in as well.
Hey.
We're not in a scene together. Maybe next time, maybe for the third one, he'll let us be in a scene together. That would be too much fun.
Maybe.
And maybe we can play versions of ourselves, because a version of the Disenfranchised podcast does exist in the Endless Elsewhere universe. That's canon in point of fact. So fingers crossed that can happen. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. I believe that should be hitting streaming services before the end of the year. So check that out. And Tucker, where can we find you these days?
The same places as always. I'm on the Instagrams and YouTube at Ice909. ICENINE, the number 0 and the number 9. Also, Tuck Mugs still exists and gets updated every once in a while. Tuck_mugs on Instagrams.
And that is our episode.
Wait, you guys.
What?
Wait, so
what?
So just real quick, I told Jimmy I'd do this. Jimmy was going to be on the episode this week, but he had a hot date tonight, and I get it. My man's got a hot date. So cool.
Sorry, I'm not allowed to call Jimmy. Get it, Evan.
There you go. How dare you, Steven. I'll bleep that out for sure. It's insulting, Steven.
The fact that you call him by one name that we're not allowed to refer to him to is what is insulting. But
I didn't make the rules. Okay?
You exclusively make the rules, Tucker.
No, Jimmy makes the rules. He's the one who decrees that I'm the only one allowed to call him Jimmy. That's not a me rule. That's a him rule. You got to take it up with the man. Speaking of the man, my good friend Jimmy, a.k.a. Evan Wilson, has just put out his sophomore album under his moniker, The Grand Voodoo Band. The record is called Citrus Nights. It's available on all of the streaming services, and it's really, really good. There are some songs on there that I maybe had a hand in developing. One specifically was my idea.
What?
So yes, I feel like I'm involved. Not only that, but Jimmy and I are each other's closest musical buddies. So whenever we're doing anything, we're each other's first person to send rough mixes and stuff to. So I've been listening to this record for almost 3 years now.
Nice.
Because that's how long he's been working on it. I've heard all the demos. I've heard all the different mixes. I've heard the songs that did not make it to this record. Nice. And I have heard the final product several times before it released. It released on the 16th. So if you're interested in experimental psychedelic music that doesn't really fit a specific genre, I would recommend that you check it out. Citrus Nights by Grand Voodoo Band. It's on all the major streamers. Also on Bandcamp, SoundCloud, and all that other bullshit. So there you go. You're welcome,
There
Jimmy.
we go. And we're gonna try to have Evan on soon.
Yeah, probably in a couple weeks. Probably.
Fingers crossed. We'll be able to have him on sooner rather than later.
Unless his date goes really well, then his schedule might get real busy. You know what I'm saying?
I know
exactly. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I don't know what that was, but I appreciated it.
I just wanted to kind of share your excitement. At any rate, that is our episode on the 2002 film Ronnie Run and our Sketch-tember theme month. We got, again, our annual theme month, Spooky-thon coming up next month. We got a theme. Tune in next week to see what that is, or subscribe at the $5 level at patreon.com/justinfrenchpod. I'm your host, Stephen Foxworthy. For Tucker and the absent Brett Wright, again, thoughts and prayers, and titilitis is a killer. Until next time, I want my money back, and I want angels to give it to me, and pixies to count it out, and a gnome or a hobbit or an elf to sleep at the foot of my bed and have. I just want them all over my backyard. But no matter what happens to any of that, I do want my money back, Tucker. Give me my fucking money back.
I'll see you in hell, Steven. Hey, do something real bad so I can see you in hell, okay?
Fat chance.